It is a great joy and honor to come into your homes and your minds. This is Emmanuel Mensah, a co-founder of the Eagle Mentality Group. At the Eagle Mentality Group, we teach and propagate information about the power of thought, universal laws and principles, and how our thinking and these laws comes together to create our realities. All human beings are creating their realities, whether you like it or not. You have a mind and you are thinking. And so long as you are thinking, you are creating your reality, even you may not know. But that is the truth. Everything, without exclusion, that comes into a person's life is not fated. And it is not anything that was brought to him by any outside force, but it is the person's own mental images that are being played back to him or her by the universe. And so today, anyway, we are not in the metaphysical area in our discussions these days. And so we will put this one aside. But today I want us to look at what we have been dealing with the past days, and that is the quest for uniform and sustainable development in Ghana and Africa in general. Ghana as a case study. The quest for uniform and sustainable development in Africa with Ghana as a case study, you see, for our discussions, you see. And so before I go on, I just want to take this opportunity to appeal to you that if you haven't subscribed to our channel, please do well to click on the subscribe button and circulate this message in your network. Let us share the message. Let us spread the message of empowerment and empowerment and enlightenment. If you have already done that, I just want to say we salute you and we thank you. God bless you. We also encourage you to continue to do the good work. Together we are in this to bring our land to a better place. And also, if you think what we are doing resonate with you, and especially if you are in the GTA area and you want to be involved in this physically, please leave a comment in the comment section and I will get back to you on that. But apart from that, please listen, leave a comment, and let us share and empower one another. And so, today we are looking at the quest for uniform and sustainable development in Africa, Ghana as a case study. And as I've always been saying, I am using Ghana because I'm a Ghanaian. I'm a Ghanaian origin. You see, I was born and raised in Ghana before I migrated to Europe and later on to North America. And so I can speak about the Ghana situation even in my sleep. That is why I'm using Ghana as a case study. But whatever I'm saying is applicable to any African country. But that is the dream. You see, and so we are looking for uniform development. But today we are putting the radar on housing in Ghana and all other parts of Africa. Yesterday, the past 2 days, I spoke about how we can use the military to open up the country by using the military to train the paramilitary units in each district to build roads and bridges and tie the road with local technology so that everywhere, anyone can travel anywhere in Ghana with a peace of mind. Today, we are going to look at the housing, and as a matter of fact, when you take human beings, our basic necessities are one, food. The second one is a place to lay your head, a roof over your head. You see, that is your housing. And this is very critical things in our lives that we need to look at. Apart from that, once you have your house, you can move around freely with confidence and joy, happiness. Then you will say you are living a life that is we can say is a certain level of developed. And so if you look at housing is a key. And as a matter of fact, when I travel to the Western world, I love everything about this place. But the only thing that I disagree and I don't appreciate is the housing system. it puts people in debt. It puts people in difficult situations. But if you look at what is going on now, if you go to Ghana, Accra, in our cities now, this Western system of mortgage and other things are even now being, transported to Africa. Fair enough. But for me, the only thing that we can do is to look at the effects of this system on the people in the West, and not to copy it, but for us to develop our own system. You see, so if I'm in the seat of the president of Ghana today, what I would do is to roll out a housing plan. A housing plan that maybe has never existed in any part of the world. I'm here to know. I'm open to correction. And my plan is going to create a housing project. That is going to be a joint project between the government and the individuals. If you look at Ghana and almost all African countries, everyone has his or her own plot of land. Then you put something on it as your house. So if you look at it, the people in Africa are even richer than those of us in the West, because over here you take a mortgage, even you buy the land, or you don't even have the right to buy the land, but you take a mortgage, then they develop it for you. You see, but in Ghana, these lands are there. Almost everyone, we do it the way. So the first thing is to structure the ownership of the land. And as I stated in one of my episodes, I will take it away from the ruler authorities or the chiefs and put it in the hands of the political administrative unit in each district. Well, that is not what we are looking at today. But what we are looking at is how to roll out a housing project or scheme in such a way that we will be able to have uniform set of building houses all over the country, but at an affordable and easy to attain. And so what I will do is this. Everyone that has a plot of land, the government will meet the person at the point. Once you develop your land, let's say if you start your house, the government will come out with a plan. Every district, every town will be planned with the right plan. And once you start your house and you put it at a certain level, the government will come to complete it for you. And that will be the scheme. And this is going to be in a methodical way of rolling it out. And if we do this, by the end of the day, the individuals will be able to put up decent houses. It will be at a very cheap cost, but the government comes in to support them to do that, you see. So in every village, in every town across the country, this scheme is going to be rolled out. And every town, no one will put a house in a place that he or she thinks. We're going to reorganize our towns, our villages, and plan every town and every village, but with a uniform set of accommodation. And as I started, as a matter of fact, if you look at the housing that we have in Africa, especially when you move, even in the city, if you go to some parts of Accra, the kind of houses or places that people are living, to be honest with you, even people in the homeless people in the developed world don't live in those things. As a matter of fact, but we have those things in Africa. And so I will bring out this approach that we're going to help all these individuals. Those that don't have lands within the cities, will resettle them outside the cities, create new towns, building them from scratch. But it's going to be a partnership between the government and the people. And we set it up. Once you build your house, we're going to help you. Start building your house. You get to a certain level, the government comes to complete it. And then it will be a uniform set of buildings everywhere. So now, with a paramilitary approach, we've used them to open up the country. And we're going to use this system to bring out new form of architecture that is uniform everywhere in Ghana or anywhere in Africa. And as we do that, you see that we're going to develop our towns and cities into a certain level that we become a developed country. What is the feature of a developed nation? The feature of a developed nation is one, the system of transportation. And then the second one is the quality of living standards, or the quality of life, the living standards of the people. And the key thing in the living standard of the people is accommodation. You should have a house that you will feel proud to walk into. You should have a house that you will feel comfortable living in. You should have a house that someone walking past will look at it and admire and appreciate it. This cannot be done by the system that we have. And that is why I've always been saying that even if the current government is the perfect government that Ghana needs, based on the approach and the structure at which they are working, nothing will happen. Apart from the usual or the normal, the regular quoting of figures and making things that the people are doing this and that. But the living condition of the people, improvement in the living of the condition of the people, nothing will change. Those houses will still be the same. All this kind of thing, these kaya you men, boys and girls, youth standing on the streets as hawkers selling things, it is never going to change. It will be the same thing. But if we take this approach, we can bring all these people into other areas that we're going to create employment for them. The building of the houses becomes employment. The maintenance of the houses becomes employment. You see, and even the local administration, those working for the local government in every district and towns and villages, is an employment. You see, we can reorganize our towns and societies and re-give it a new outlook. And that is what we're going to project into the world as a developed country. But as it is, we can use all our resources to develop everything that we have in the cities. So long as the hinterland or the other parts of the country are not, we are underdeveloped. You see, so when we do this, housing will be taken care of. Everyone in Ghana will be supported to put up his or her own house, but it must be according to a certain standard. And then this partnership, every householder will pay a tax on the same property to the government, and that money will be used for further development and the maintenance of the house. The maintenance of each house will be shared between the government and the owner. There are some things that the owner must be responsible. There are some things that the government unit, the housing department or the housing development unit of the district or the town will be responsible for maintaining it. You see, in that case, we'll be able to develop our towns, create lawns, create beautiful things around us. You see, the only way you can live a fulfilled and a beautiful life is to have a better place to live. And so this idea that people are trying to take this mortgage system and just transport it to Ghana and other parts of Africa is unfortunate. Let us look at the improvement in the lives of the people first. We don't need mortgage. We don't need a mortgage system in Africa. But what we need is partnership with the government and the people to help them to build houses that are affordable but decent, that every human being would love to live in. Those who have money and they want to build up mansions, they are at liberty to do that. But we are talking of the average person that is working and living in squalor, that is living in kind of sheds and other things that we cannot even call them as houses, you see. And so this is the time we have to wake up, and that is what I've been saying all the time. What I'm saying here, as a matter of fact, most people would say my ideas are what we call it, over ambitious and whatever I'm fantasizing about. But as a matter of fact, I'm a dreamer, and I would rather fantasize, I would rather daydream than to sit down to worry, than to sit down to criticize someone, than to sit down to condemn another person. Whatever the government is doing, I appreciate what they're doing. They're doing their best. I'm also telling you what if I'm in their position, what I would do. And I'm telling you that if you are in their position, what you ought to do. That's all I'm saying. That is all I'm saying. We need to wake up. There are a lot of opportunities. The underdeveloped nature of Africa is self-inflicted. We don't even need to use any high-level materials. There is nothing wrong with even putting up these Atakwame houses with a plan. And maintaining it all the time. There is nothing wrong with that. But what we have in Africa? There is no town that is planned. There is no village that is planned. This person put up his house here, the other person put up his house there. So it's just we are doing things anyhow. This is not a sign of people who are mentally developed. It's a sign of people who are mentally handicapped. I'm telling you, when I say mentally handicapped, I'm talking of in terms of using your mind to do something that is beautiful. You see, so this is the time, and this is what I would do if I'm the president of Ghana, His Excellency John Mahama. There will be a thoughtful, well-planned housing scheme where every citizen that owns a place will be helped to develop his house to a certain level, to the standard of the government. And then after that, everyone that owns the house will pay a tax to the government, that is the local level, and that money will be used for further development of the town, the provision of other facilities and amenities within the society. We should be able to build up community libraries, community facilities like sports and other things. All these things have to be available to the younger ones. They don't have to travel to the city for them to experience it. Someone somewhere must not come from somewhere. A footballer or someone that has got his money must not come and build a sports complex for Ghanaians to children that is not their job. But if they have the money and they want to do that, but the fact is that with all that they're doing in the cities, what of the other children all over the country? But when we have well-structured local authorities and we have well-run programs, the towns and the cities will run this program alongside the private one. And that is such that those who can afford will go for the private one. Those who cannot afford will fall on the government one. That is what is done everywhere. That is what is done everywhere. Come to Canada, go to UK, go to US, wherever you go, every community you see a library. Every community you see a sports complex. They play all other activities. There are a lot of activities for children. But Ghanaian children are walking, nothing to do. Apart from we just saying that go to school, go to school, go to school. And the second thing is go to church, go to church. If they are not going to church, they are going to the mosque. We have made religion a profession. Africans have made religion a profession. And that thing is making us poor, underdeveloped. Religion is supposed to open up your mind. As a matter of fact. So that is what I'm putting across. And this is a practical approach to nation building. This is a practical approach to nation building. If no group of people, no country has ever done this, let us be the first people to do this. So that by the time if anyone happens to travel to Ghana and goes to any part of Ghana, he will see the same type of development, the same type of living condition. Even if there will be differences, just some little differences based on the location and some other factors, you see. But this kind of complete disorganized living conditions and societies across the country is not a sign of people who are advancing. And as a matter of fact, I am not against anyone who has high qualification. I'm not against anyone who is holding a PhD or whatever. But as far as I'm concerned, those PhDs are not helping anyone. The only way that your qualification comes to help people or become useful to yourself and other people is to propound an idea, theory, a certain framework, and give it to the government, give it to the society for them to implement. And that brings about improvement, that brings about development. But unfortunately, Africa, our universities, the professors and other things, they only read the books and teach the students chewing and poor. Apart from that, no African Ghanaian, I completed University of Ghana, no Ghanaian professor, I stand to be corrected. If someone has done that, you can correct me. You say, no Ghanaian professor has sat down to take any of our social issues and then analyze it and says that this is what I have analyzed and this is my solution to that. It has never happened. It has never happened. When I read political science at the University of Ghana, we did public administration. And when you studying local authorities and other things, we were reading just about how it happened, the history of this and that and that. There is nothing like organizing the students to conduct research and come up with ideas how to improve all the systems. You say, that is what we are saying. It's time for us to break out of this mediocrity life and think outside the box. And what I'm doing is thinking outside the box. I will create the paramilitary units with the military training them. Then I will introduce a housing system across the nation. Everyone that owns a house, we already have the plots. Everyone that lives on any plot of land will be helped to build it to a certain level that is approved by the government. And then everyone will pay tax to maintain the system and to make sure that newer houses will be put up so that we'll be able to keep our towns, our cities, all our places beautiful and wonderful, and above all, giving the people a living condition that is more or less heaven. As it is now, Africans, you are living in hell. You are living in hell. Let us create the heaven here. And that is the way to create a heaven here. So that is my message for you. And as I've always been saying, a word to a wise is enough. What I'm doing is to educate you, the ordinary people, and bring this awareness to ourselves that there are more we can give to ourselves than any other person coming to give it to us. And the only way we can give this more to ourselves is to look at our local situations and respond to it by creating our own solutions. So let us rise up. You will know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. That is my message for you. We are on a journey, and therefore let us team up. We are looking at how to bring uniform and sustained development, not just putting one thing here, putting one thing there, and then tomorrow you come back, the thing is breaking up. Then the people are sitting down wailing, calling for support. That is not that's what we call development. But we're looking for setting up structures, systems that can be improved upon, that will keep on improving upon to run and bring about a certain quality of life in the living condition of the people. That is when we can say that we are doing the right thing. You see, and so let us wake up. So that is my message for you on housing. This is what we're going to do. And if you think what we are doing here resonates with you, please leave a comment. And whichever way you want to support us, be part of us. And let us create this awareness. And if you are, once again, if you are in the GT area, in the Greater Toronto area, and you want to actually physically be part of it, you want to contact me, leave the comment or your number, and I will contact you. At the end of the day, we are all working together for the common good of our people, Ghana and Africa. Thank you, and God bless you.